Belize is a small country on the Caribbean coast of Central America with the second longest barrier reef in the world and an impressive number of archaeological sites. But Belize is also home to a grim reality, one of the highest violent crime rates in both the Caribbean and Central America.
There was a murder in the city last night. The victim is a 23-year-old who had just left his mother's home.
A shooting spree has left 2 persons dead and 7 injured in the past 3 days.
The gunmen from a rival crew knew who they were after, but they fired indiscriminately, and a 9-year-old boy was killed.
Most of the violence is confined to the country's commercial capital, Belize City. Indigence and overall poverty are significantly higher in Belize City than any other urban area of the country. Family breakdown, unemployment, drug prevalence, school non-attendance and dropout have created a vicious cycle of intergenerational poverty in neighborhoods scarred by the trauma of violent crime.
We said to the children, draw the things that hurt you most. And it's amazing. The children draw guns as priority, or they draw people being killed, or people lying on the street dead.
I was always afraid that it was someone who was in my family that got shot or something. I would like the violence to stop, just everything to just slow down for a minute so we can see how beautiful Belize is and how it's so peaceful if we would just let the violence stop and just be nice to people, just be nice to others for a while.
Amid the deadly and increasing violence, Belize City's youngest residents have found a safe and child-friendly space at the Haynes Institute for Excellence. The center opened its doors to Belize City residents in March 2009.
We brought the community together and we said to them, what is it you want most of all in this community? And number 1 priority on their list was that their children were not doing well in school. The children were failing. They were failing repeatedly. Some children are falling out of school, high school. Some children are not able to go on to high school. And consequently, there were in homes a number of young people who did not have jobs.
According to Director Barbara Elrington, the community's concerns became the Institute's objectives: to enhance the education of children and youth, to provide the means and a facility for recreation and studies, and provide assistance for employment and education in entrepreneurship for adults. To address the needs of the children and adolescents, the Institute offers an after-school remediation program.
The crux of it is that they can't read and understand, and this will limit how they perform in all subjects across the board. Reading is a key component of being able to handle the work that you're given in the classroom. Once we have an idea as to where they're reading at, once we have an idea as to where they are in mathematics, we give them lots of practice work, and we try to give them 1 day a week. They work on the computer and they use the computer as an instructional tool. We take the form view that every child is unique, every child has graces and talent, and if you give them the right environment, they can develop. So that is how we treat every child. We also recognize that the children coming from some of the homes, parents don't have time to give them the love and attention they need, and so we try to do some compensation. The child comes to us, we try to show love.
According to Elrington, the use of the computer has been a particularly effective teaching tool.
If you're doing mathematics and you get a problem, you solve a problem, immediately the computer says, wow, well done. I don't know how often the teacher does this in the classroom, but these programs afford them. And if you get it wrong, the computer don't say it's wrong, you're a failure or you're dumb. The computer program will say to you, try again. And so it encourages the child to persevere until they get it right.
In addition to academic assistance, the program's holistic approach also includes classes in music and gardening.
It's great. Sometimes you learn different things every day. You get to meet other people, you get to socialize with the smaller kids, get to teach them things that they haven't known that you have known. And sometimes you get to see them accomplish the things that you teach them.
For 15-year-old Ashley Ovado, participation at the Samuel Haynes Institute of Excellence has had a profound effect on her life.
My mother and father passed away when I was 6, so I was living with my brother and my sister, but now I'm recently living with my sister, who is 6 years older than me. I came to Samuel Haynes to seek help in the 4 PSC subjects, Math, English, Science, and Social Studies, and the result was satisfactory. I scored a 78.75 on PSC. I was very proud.
Ashley has a very positive outlook on life, and she tries very hard. And with the support that we give her and the encouragement, I think we have seen her just blossom, blooming right before our very eyes.
Samuel Haynes teaches you things that you need to know and that you will need in the future. And it's actually a place where you can find very loving people that cares for you and are willing to help you to get to the places that you want to go.
The inspiring effect of encouragement has also been evident in the success of the income-generating program for women and young adults.
In the case of the adults, their need for income generating is more urgent. They need to earn to keep the children in school, to maintain the rest of the family, and so on. So once the parents came and started to see that the children were doing well, they wanted something. And so we started the sewing. What we have done with these women is that we did not just train them to sew and then send them home. We said to them, no, you've got to take this into a business venture. We are setting up a website where we can sell on eBay, kind of thing. We are setting up a store where we can sell locally to tourists and so on. And we continue to train the ladies.
Samuel Haynes has since replicated that strategy in other fields such as culinary studies, cosmetology, urban gardening, landscaping and outdoor cleaning, and health education. High turnouts at the graduation ceremonies for the certificate courses are symbolic of the community's endorsement of the programs.
I think many of them have not had opportunities where they experience success, especially the people in the income generating programs. In the past, they might have been failures in primary school. They might not have gone on to secondary, or if they went on to secondary, they failed at secondary school. And for the first time, they are experiencing a level of success that they never experienced before. I believe that they are now conscientized that they have got to be part of the development. And so they are participating, and they are prepared to continue to work with their children, work with us, work among themselves. So the whole perspective of community development, the way they see things, is changing.
The continued growth of the Samuel Haynes Institute of Excellence has presented it with additional challenges in infrastructure and funding. Administrators now struggle to find space to accommodate all the participants. And because the programs offered at the Institute are free of charge, financing is the constant and primary challenge.
It's very difficult to run an education and training facility that can sustain itself in a poor community. One of the reasons why governments take over the management of education is because it has to be highly subsidized. We have looked at that from all corners and ask ourselves, how do we maintain, sustain the education and training aspect of this program?
Samuel Haynes has received funding and assistance from government and non-governmental agencies, as well as international organizations such as the Organization of American States and UNICEF. It is clear that with additional investment and support, the Samuel Haynes Institute of Excellence will be able to effectively deliver results for children and contribute to positive community change.
I love to read here because they got so much books to read, and I love to hear them stories, so I want to read them. When I read, I think that how you'll get smart and you'll pass all the class and you'll be a big woman. They teach me subject, I learn to read, they teach me how to borrow, carry, they teach me all kinds of things. I love to come here because here is so nicely and it's a pretty school, and it teach people something to learn.